Just realized that means that that's the problem. I have to go mess around with that later. I didn't realize that that other scene got kind of scuffed. Yep. All right, I'll have to fix that. That's fine. We're not gonna use that scene till Guild Wars is over. What's up, Zurich? Honestly, I could probably workshop my grid a little better. We can one turn a fight, but it takes one, two, three, four, five, six, seven buttons. But to be honest, I'm like so dead tired. I don't really care right now how inefficient it is. I could probably make it more efficient. Probably cut like another button or two if I messed around with the grid and stuff. But I am so dead. Moved to two fridges yesterday. Then today I went to we went to the storage, and it should have just been like an easy just grab one thing and then dip out. But I kept seeing things when I was moving stuff to get to the one thing, and I was like, oh, we should take that, and we should take that, and then we should take that. And then there was a recall for this window AC unit that we had. Uh, and so then I had to get the one in the basement out and then put the one in the garage. So I am tired. And then I have to move two stoves tomorrow. This week is making me pay for the last like couple weeks of being able to just potato around. You have five button one that you probably finagle it lower if you really want to, but wait, what's your five button one use? I just threw together something for Kengo, and then it was like, Kengo's not doing enough charge bar to make everybody Ogi on turn one, so then I just threw in two characters that gave themselves full bar. Kind of wish they would rebalance Black Knight a bit. I want to use Black Knight again, but I just can't justify it with how strong. Oh wait, right. I forget we also cast Mist, so technically it's like eight buttons. So it's even worse. All right, seven, six, seven. I don't fucking know. Lost count. Three, two, one, two. Yeah, so eight. Whatever. Video Lich. Rehider. Half a chance damage. Club Summon Lich 2. Video Field. Secret Triad. Magic. Oh, but you'd have to click the field, yeah. I still don't understand why field effects aren't full autoable. I don't think I'll ever understand why they made that choice. Considering there's plenty of other like single use skills in the game, like self buffs and stuff that are full auto label. And realistically speaking, I think Fedials is probably like the only field effect that's like a problem. I guess Vicala's like pretty good too, but like I just don't think field effects are such a potent thing. Like I just don't know if it's like if it's an issue with the code. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll just stick with this one because it lets me use Summer and Mara, who I don't get to use like ever. Actually, I could probably cut a button if I just did Bubs over the Sariel summon. I'd have a little less charge bar on Kenga, but he still would only put out. It'd still probably be like triple Ogi triple anyway. And I could probably cut the the mist at least. Cut mist and then maybe cut my guess is like two. We'll try that. Oh, I also should be having Bubs be the main summon. Pretty sure. See if that works. Yeah. That's what, 6 clicks? That's good enough. To be honest, at this point, I could probably also just cut out Lich's one. Or one. Mellow. Mellow. Okay, no. We'll have to use. Yeah. We're just missing like just a smidge damage. Oh, actually, I could fix that. Oh, Summer Below. I think with the Summer Below counters, it should be enough. Some people's videos of potential setups for Nightmare 100, 150 using the Sumo class champion weapon. I guess what was the Sumo's one again? I think that was the one that seemed like the most promising out of all of them, but What still wasn't overly impressive. Let's see. What do you do? Doubles the hit number of ultimate palm strike, and then gives assassin. Gives 50% bonus damage. Consumes max HP for some enmity shenanigans. And then gains. Actually, yeah, I can see that. Actually, I'm assuming they use what? Ultimate palm strike to get the assassin, or maybe they get it from something else. I don't know. It doesn't seem like terrible. I can definitely see use for it. What ultimate palm strike? Yeah, looking at it, yeah, I could see it like work with and without. It'd probably just depend on like grid strength, really, on like characters probably. Yeah, I'm not overly surprised that that one's seeing semis. I think like that was the only one out of the three from that grid that seemed like pretty decent. Cause especially with the Diablos gun, I just don't really see a reason that you'd use the Boogeyman gun. And then Mariachi's was actually kind of underwhelming. The one that did was using some of the not fully cracked out characters for like 156. Yeah, yeah, I kind of figured that was the case. I mean, that's good though, because realistically, it's easier for it's like easier to get one of those technically for your sanity than it is to transcend like six. Used for low solos? Is it? I don't know. I've had like a severe lack of like Grand Blue videos popping up. I think it's just because it's gotten like overtaken by Limbus Company videos. Because even during this time, where usually I get a lot of like the prep videos for Guild Wars, like the last minute ones that people put out, I didn't get any of them. So I haven't seen any of like the new stuff pop up. Probably because I've had to watch like I have to watch like so many fucking videos. I still don't know how to use the character that I got, or at least like optimally. I know how to click the buttons, but he has like a specific way you need to like play him to make damage go burr. Dexa solo from DK, at least more casual. Fair enough. Touche. I'm so tilted. The two fucking summer characters I skipped for Formal Frau were both used for like. Aren't they? Didn't Tom also have like a Hexa solo? I'm so mad. It's been so long since I skipped characters for a character I wanted that it kind of bit me in the ass for something. For solo Cosmos, it's up on the. I do not think I could ever have the like sanity to solo the Revan Rids. Like it's the Magna threes, and I get annoyed at like the 50% mark, which is why I tend to open them nowadays. Unless I'm like not paying attention, then that's fine. But like the Revan Rids, I was just like, I don't think I have. I don't think I have the sanity nor the shamelessness to solo those. I gotta help the brothers out, you know. Gotta host it at least at like 50%, or at least when I get like blue chest honors. A lot of solid that Cosmos grid. But you're still being. Think of the people. Think of the homies that you're robbing a chance to, go in and get their blue chest. Think of the community, bro. The shamelessness. Magna threes, you got like 3 a day, that you can host yourself. Those, if I get lost in the sauce and that full auto goes all the way through, whatever, forget about it. You're fine. But the Revan raids, that's just cold blooded. That's just cold blooded. Unless you're doing it for content, then whatever. Do you, buddy? Valentine Lobelia, though, I'm not surprised. I it cracks me up that it's happened twice. Granted, the fix up that of the misconception of Valentine Lobelia was a lot faster than Wilderness is. I think Wilderness took like almost a whole month before people were just like, oh shit, wait a minute. Well, as before, like the non-believers were like, oh shit. The rest of us believers slash havers were like, oh, dog, he is the goat. 5 people can join and just die from being stupid. I mean, I think that actually, no, yeah, Cosmos can fucking the stupid bar. You're right. You have a point. Actually, valid. I was thinking of a geisha because of geisha, I've had people come in and be stupid, but it doesn't really affect me that badly. I'll just keep truck. I'll just keep trucking along and hope that I can kill the boss before it kills me towards the end. I just need them. Usually, I only need them to do like another 20% damage at most, which they usually do before they start dying. But you have a point with Cosmos. Cosmos is yeah. You know what? The council has reviewed the subject and says an exception shall be made for the Cosmos, right? I still feel like, I mean, I understand why they don't do it, but it's still because that's why they did the whole, you get a little something something if you fail the raid, depending on how well you did. It still feels bad though when you're doing like something like the Revan raid and you go in and then it just fails because the other five people are stupid, or you get that one baboon. Because I had it one time when I was doing like my diaspora farming, I had a baboon show in with his dark team and then retreat, and I'm like, you sack of garbage. And that one was actually kind of close. There was a couple people that they came in and they didn't have like super strong grids. But luckily the one like berserker dude came back and was just like, oh, this thing's still alive. Killed it. That's those people do come back and kill it. Honestly, those people are saints. I appreciate those people because I've also had people that they'll do it. They'll come back. They'll see it's not dead, and they'll just retreat to free it up to then go and do another one. And then those people make me sad. But yeah, those people are saints. I'll do that for like Magna 3 raids I join. If I look back and the thing's still alive when it's like, when people aren't just, there's not like an event or something that's making people farm it a bunch. I'll like go back, like, all right, I got this. Clicks full auto. That's why I usually take my full auto teams into those when I do the backup request. Definitely not because I'm lazy. It's definitely so I can help my fellow player in case, they die and nobody else is doing anything. I don't mind, man. I'm definitely not playing another gotcha game while I'm grinding Guild Wars. ones you're working on? Alright, thank you. The nice thing is that even though it's like only 5 buttons, it at least gives me 5 buttons of time to do something. So I can at least like multitask a little bit. I will say the only downside to Libus Company is it's such a pain in the ass to play on mobile. Because of the way the mechanic works, where you're like you have to well when you're doing like the like unfocused battles, where you have to like manually link the skills together. Sometimes when you're at least for me, I don't know, it's just because my fingers like slightly big, even though for me they're regular sized. But like sometimes it'll link the wrong thing, and I'll have to like double triple check that it's like doing the right skill. Gets kind of annoying. I generally play it on my computer, even though we got Apollo gems recently because there was a bug on their server that kept like it would not allow it seemed to only be an issue with like the Steam players, so I didn't have the problem on my phone. But like there was a bug that anytime you tried to interact with any of the UI buttons at the bottom, because which is the main way to navigate around the game, it would give you an error that there's new content to download and then boot you back out to the to like the login screen to like re-download like anywhere from it was either 22 bytes or like 11 point something kilobytes was like the little download. Although for some people apparently it was making them re-download the entire patch, which is or like the entire game, which is like 16 gigs, and like actually installing the whole game. Like there's people talking about where they did run out of space, and so they had to like delete other games on their phone and stuff. And it's just like it was we got 500 shards, which is that's good enough. 200 more than what they usually give. I'll take it. There was workarounds that you could do because there was like other ways, but the issue is that like you if you left the main menu, like if you were playing like the actual game, like if you went to go play the real like the game, like do the story or the mirror dungeon or whatever, you didn't have a way to get back to the main menu. So you there was like you couldn't access your inventory. And then you couldn't access at all the ability. Well, actually, no, that's not true. You had to do a roundabout way to basically if you left the main menu, you couldn't access your inventory and you couldn't get to the decision to you couldn't get to the menu to dispense things, which is like their Spark system. But if you're at the main menu and you could make it to the inventory, then you could use the well, actually no, technically no. I think the only thing is that you couldn't access the inventory. Because you could do the workaround for dispensing if you just went to Mirror Dungeon, went to the character screen, like did the went to go to the up tie level and then went to swap ego shards for threads and then it would push because that's on the dispense screen. So there was a workaround for that. It's just the inventory is the one that you're kind of screwed. Decision just cut out which is 2 to just see. Turns out might be unnecessary. It's actually a 4 button setup. Happens. The real question will be long term to see if like the slight variance in damage, right? If whenever it rolls low on the hits, if that'll cause a thing. But that's just part of the suffering. I know I can't cut liches too out of this one. I probably could if it wasn't because I just don't feel like clicking buttons. I just want to full auto because I'm lazy. I'm lazy. My brain is so dead, and I'm trying to juggle two games at the same time. Because the problem is that, like, to be honest, juggling this many gacha games has been disrupting my sleep schedule. Before the latest I would go to sleep would have been like 1 in the morning. Now I've been like going to sleep at like 3. Uh, to be fair, it's mostly because of the event going on in Tacticus, because I have to manual all the shit in Tacticus. When the event's done in like next week, I can go back to just skipping 90% of the fights and not having to manual my way through them. The shit I do for efficiency. Any different fourth than Ray, considering this was just a pre-existing team and made for Erica? That's fair. Who'd you even replace Ray for? Well, I mean, I guess there's decent options. You probably just replace Ray with anybody with a decent, like, Ogi that does something on special. Vegas for the yeah, that's what I was thinking. Full limit break, good Ogi damage. If they survive and they do, they do on the team, he just throws something back in their face. Don't ask me. Don't ask me why that's what came to mind when my brain decided to make a noise for that. All right, we don't talk about it. My brain's dead. It's running on primal tendencies, which is what is it? Llamas? Is it llamas or alpacas that like to spit at people? Also, imagine having vape that high. Couldn't be me. Oh, we ran out of adjacent squares. I have so much gratitude, bro. I got the new character over in Limbus Company. The event in Tacticus is making me get new, like a bunch of new characters and rank them up, so I have to grind their ranks up. And then there's, and then the thing for Tactics I got to keep, or for Limbus Company I got to keep doing it. Pain. Pecorino. Team's originally full auto and Ray swapping out for Magus with it. Ah, yeah, that's fair. I was slightly curious why Ray was in there. I have Ray. I have never used her, which I probably should. Ray fell into like the Nahan thing for me, where I owned Nahan like the very first banner he ever existed on, and I never used him. That had no clue how to use them. I did. Yeah, I didn't know anything past like the, you know, click all three skills and then just let hit your team one turn. Like I didn't realize that he was so good at like higher content too, just from just don't use that one thing. Cause I'd just be like, ooh, ooh, piece of candy, hit all the buttons, call it good. In my defense, every content I had seen when he came out, that was it. That was what everybody used him for. Everybody uses him just to like run his like for all of his stuff into like the double strike shit, and then call it good. When realistically, he was a lot better than that. Because Ray is just more straightforward, right? It's like just put a strong attacker behind her, and then or like to get brought in, and then she just flips and gives him what like it's like a big. It's like double strike or something, and then but makes them like have defense down or something like that. I forget the exact like mechanics. But also, if I didn't say Quassol, Meowsy, hello, welcome in. Sorry, I am like super dead today. I'm trying to like I'm super dead, and I've decided to juggle two gacha games and try to hold conversation all at the same time. I am my neurons are like they're not even on fire anymore. They're just like the burnt charcoal in the corner. They've stopped like they've even stopped just like the smoky part. There's just nothing there. There's nothing left. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I wish to be okay. But how are you, Myanzi? How was your day? Honestly, I probably should have taken a nap, but I'm pretty sure if I took a nap, I would have just passed out instead. Everything as well. Yeah, everything's fine. There's just been a lot of heavy lifting. Moved two fridges yesterday, then I went to the storage today. Moved a bunch of stuff. Not well, not too much stuff, but basically we went to go look because we have a new stove coming tomorrow, and the new stove is like all induction shenanigans, so we can't use any of the pots that we have. And my mom remembered that she used to have a like a box of like a set that she had bought that could be used for induction, but we didn't have it like in the house, so we went to storage to go find it. And in the process of moving all the stuff like off of it, I was like, oh shit, the two Christmas trees because we have like the fake Christmas trees, like we had two of them. One of them's like pretty decently sized. Uh, I was like, we could take these home and just have them there because I have to pick them up and move them out of the way anyway. I was like, yeah, sure. And then I was like, oh shit, there's also your bread making thing. We can take that too. And she's like, yeah, sure. And then it's just like just snowballed into taking more stuff. And then I got home and then my old man was like, yeah, we need to put these we used to have these like AC like in the window AC units. And apparently there's been a recall on them. And he's like, yeah, that needs to. There, we had one in the basement because my old man had been trying to see if it would be worth using, which it's not in this house. This house is actually pretty good with like the air conditioning and stuff. And so I had to go all the way down to the basement and then go all the way back to the garage. Mind you, the basement's on the opposite side of the house from the garage. Uh, with it, and then I had to put the other one in, which it's fine. It's just that I'm super tired, and then I have to move two stoves tomorrow. So it's just been a lot of like back to back days of doing stuff. Basically, I've been earning my keep in this house. That's the long and short of it. Mm. Double checkers are one that keeps her up front, and you choose one of the other three. Swapping out for the back to boost attack damage, cap dodge rank, guarantee triple for the defense drop. And three is a panic button for if she stays in front to use her one. Ah, okay. Yeah, I remember she had something for double check. I just didn't remember like how everything worked. Wait, no, I still get through. I used to. You know, I kind of wish. So, what you call it? Well, actually, I kind of don't because some of the things I like about having the different games. But like, even though I have a feeling like Grand Blue Fantasy eventually might introduce this sort of content to the game. I don't know if they'd make it like do it the same way that, for instance, Tacticus does it, or well, there's no way they would do a Castle Rush system. But so Tacticus has these things called guild raids, uh, where it is quite literally your entire guild works together to beat a boss kind of deal. Which, to be fair, isn't really unique. And I mean, when what is it? I think the final rally, like that kind of system, right? Where it's you can all just jump in and beat up the boss, and then it gets like stronger and stronger. But in Tacticus, the way it works is it's like there's like a pool of the bosses they pick, and every time there's like a quote unquote season, because I think there's like for instance the current one ends in like 9 hours, which I think is like it's like 2 weeks. If I'm mistaken. Where you basically they have a pool of bosses, and then each time it like refreshes, it'll grab I think it's like 4 or 5 bosses, which are the ones you fight. Maybe a couple more. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't really count. I just walk in, do my like 2 damage, and then leave for my daily. But But it's just a system that you can do that gives you currency for unlocking, but it's like always there, right? It's not like Guild Wars where there's a because it's not like PvP related, right? It's like PvE, and it's just something that you just do on daily. And then when it's on the like the cooldown, which I think it's like usually like a 24-hour cooldown or something, before the next like wave of them that you have to go through, uh, they usually replace the daily mission with something else. But I thought it'd be pretty cool if Grand Blue had something like that. Just like have like a raid boss that you can just jump in. But then again, when I think of like how much shit you have to grind in Grand Blue, I don't think Grand Blue really needs it. Tacticus, it kind of makes more sense because outside of events like right now where I have to farm skill damage, so I have to manual everything. Uh, oh shit, this fight. Um, you don't really do a lot of like manual stuff, or at least you don't have to. There's people that do, and they're kind of crazy in my opinion. But so I give you like content that you have to actually like play because you can't just raid the guild raid. But I don't know. I've always liked content like that in the game. Something that doesn't require everybody to be on at the exact same time. Like, like if you're raiding in an MMO, but you can all kind of like collectively work together to get stronger. Or like to down bosses and then just do all that stuff. It's always been something I like and like games. That's why I like it's Seven Nights. Seven Nights is probably before playing Tactica, Seven Knights' Castle Rush system was probably the one I liked the most. Because you just had this castle that had three stages, and you would fight through the three stages, and fighting through them would get you ever increasing points. And the boss at the end was based off of like some of the story characters. And were really hard because it's designed for endgame stuff. Like the levels are really high. So you can usually get like for instance, I can get through the first two waves on most of the castle rushes now. But then when I hit the third wave, usually it like one shots my team. Because it's just my team's just not at the point where it could be handling that anyway. But collectively it takes everybody's score as a guild and then adds it together and then depending on like what score you hit because there's breakpoints for it, you hit different tiers and then everybody gets a reward based on that. Like you and like to some people could be like, oh well it sucks because like, if you're in if you're uh kind of if you're doing more than everybody else, it might not feel fair. And to that I just say then just join a different guild. If you're in a guild and you're doing like 2 million points and then like the next person behind you is at like 500,000, like and you don't like that, then just fucking go to a different guild. Go find a guild that has other people also doing like 2 million plus. It's really not that big of a deal. But I always like those sorts of systems where everybody can like work together to play. Mechanics. I wonder how they're gonna make the. I just gonna call her Red Lady, Red Oni, and add a fourth set to the party screen for her since you'll be taking more than 5 characters in for her. Use section side for that, or pick the extra people you're taking in when you go into the raid when you select the team. I feel like it's probably the prior, because I feel like if they do the latter, it might be like easier, but people are probably gonna complain. Well, if as well, they could do the former as long as that screen remembers what you used last time. If you don't want to change anything, like basically whatever they do has to be in a way where it's fine. But I think they're probably just gonna do the prior one. They might just add like a special tab like they did with the EX ones. Because she's is she unaspected or does she have like a superior element? I don't remember. Presume unaspected. Yeah, if it's unaspected or non-elemental, whatever the fuck they call them again. That game, this game. Then it's probably going to be the case of, I imagine it'll have like its own thing, so people can at least make multiple teams for it. Because if it's anything like the previous raids, you generally have to have like some sort of synergy between everybody going in. And if you don't have like a consistent like static for it, then you're gonna have to have different teams to fill different roles, and it would be kind of really fucking annoying to have to redo it every single time when you go in. Like even if it's just like the characters, right? Like even if you just pick like the EX team and then just check the two characters, it could be a pain to have to scroll through depending on what characters you use. So I kind of foresee them probably just going like the usual, just make an extra tab because it's been a while since we got a new one. Actually, you probably check. It's probably on the wiki or like in the what should I call it? The timeline part that might say if they said it. Feature updates. What would it be under? There it is in October. Doesn't seem like they specified on it. At the very least, it doesn't say in the like in the little tidbit that they typed out. They just say that it introduces a new unique mechanic. We're using a party that can have 5 sub allies. All right, and then we have Evangelion. And November. I almost forgot about that. Another collab that I personally am not very invested in. Uh, yeah, I have a feeling that since it's supposed to be like in that same vein of Heart, it's probably gonna be an aspect of like non-elemental. To be honest, like if we're like realistic about this, when they're making like a really hard raid, I feel like it's just easier for them to do that because then they don't really have to worry about like character design and shit. At least not as like stringent, right? And it allows flexibility and like it just lets people kind of just run around and try to test shit out and stuff. I think it's like more helpful for the longevity of like the end game to just keep making them not having like an element. Bought the 300 Valor badge map for the Origin class. See, that was a waste when the class comes out on the 18th. Maybe you need multiple. Longer than most other class until other guild wars comes by. Oh, right, because they didn't really mention that, right? About if it would just be one and done. This system, class system will be added. Origin classes. Upgrades to row 1. Can be leveled to 50. Every 10 level. Okay, at least according to the way they have it written on the wiki for the timeline, it says one of which requires the Valor badge. Like it has multiple breakpoints, but only one of them is gonna need that item. Which kind of makes sense if you think about the fact that each of them is gonna need at least one, so that's what, 10? That you'd have to buy? That's like 3,000 Valor badges. That's a lot of fucking Valor badges. To be fair, I haven't spent mine on anything in forever, so Yeah, I'll probably buy it too. I haven't really spent my Valor badges on anything. I don't even know how many I have right now. Probably a decent chunk saved up. I have 3,000. What is it? How is it? Did this? Yeah. Stock of this item will be increased, not reset every round of the United event. I'm assuming it's a Heaven Wake spear. I keep trying to like move it. Yeah, I'll probably just buy that. Alright, we have a salute. I'm pretty sure we have other people that have this gun, they're just not using it. We're almost there though. We have 24 mil left. Getting close. Need Dread Barrage to come around more often since you're an actual crew now. Well, them stockpile of badges. Yeah. Honestly, Dread Barrage just needs to come around more often, like, period. Because, like, even if, like, it's just. The Valor badges are going to be good, especially since, with the Origin classes, you'll need 300. I'm assuming it's 300 per, so that's going to be a lot of Valor badges you need. And, like, I haven't spent my Valor badges in all. I think in at least, like, 2 years, if that. If not more. And I'm only at 3,000. And to be fair, I have been kind of lazy on some of the United fights, but for the most part, I always get all the Valor badges I can. But since all of my pulls are going into getting cores, so I can get all the celestial weapons, like it's put a damper on my plans for like getting weapons, even just to like full limit break them and stuff, like the celestial weapons. I will say, like Dread Barrage needs to be more often, and they need to add like a horde mode to it for at least like the higher level difficulty. Well, not a horde mode. Just let me. Actually, no, I don't want a horde mode. I just want like a repeat thing. Or became a chair for an old man in the new Grand Blues chapter. New merch incoming, Vern chair. They're leaking it on the comic first. They're like, we need something besides the glasses. What do we do? They're like, a chair. It's like, by God, he's a G. Man, that sucks. Just lost the arena fight because the fucking map played more to the enemy team's strength than mine. That's fucking annoying. I kind of don't like that the arenas are kind of random, honestly, for the PvP. I will say I am very glad that neither Granblue nor Limbus has like PvP. I get too competitive in PvP whenever it's like in the gacha games I play, unless it's completely RNG, like whatchamacallit, like in Seven Nights. Because then it's just like, well, shit, I didn't grind enough. Or the game just didn't want me to win today. Go to the grindstone, caught up the English translation for quite a bit compared to previous. News chapter is 2920. English is up to 2070. Oh, wow. They chipped away pretty good at that. Honestly, I applaud them for keeping up with it because I don't think the Grand Blue chapters are as popular in the West as they are in Japan, but they still keep at it. Respect. Update to 27 news a while ago, if you recall. 2900 sound English. I mean, it's still a pretty decent. I haven't like kept up with it, but I remember there was a point where it was like, I think there was at one point where it was like almost 100 behind the chapters. I don't remember. I had another friend who he loved to do like paying attention to uh to the comics uh for finding memes. I was like respectable. Look who it is. Mm. Yeah, I remember he'd always be complaining about how far behind. Sorry, my brain just like turns off every once in a while. But yeah, he'd always be complaining about how far behind the English translation was. Bit later, Nathan came in with the adventure thing, and Banana Nine came out just after that. Huh. Oh, I still think it's kind of cool. All things considered. I don't know. For me, like I've never really been big on like those kinds of comics things, but I can always respect it. Like I can understand. I mean, as someone who grew up reading like Sunday comics, I understand the appeal. Good, I'm just it's not really my thing nowadays as much as it was when I was younger. Some of these maps that I'm doing for Tacticus, I have to like think about how to position stuff so I can try to get the most amount of ability damage. It's making my brain hurt. Yeah, honestly, I could probably put a better team together than what I'm using right now, but it lets me use, well, two units I don't really get to use very often anymore, which is Summer Magissa and Summer Amira. I don't think I've used like Amira in any capacity in a hot minute. Her light version carried my light team for a while when I was starting out. Actually, to be honest, we might do some meat farming after a little bit. I don't know. We'll see what our stocks are looking like after. Because I had, I think, like 7.1K going into today. One of these days, I do want to own like Grand Blue merch. It has always been like a goal of mine. Just to own Grand Blue merch at some point. I really want to get one of the like the plushies. I want to get like the Galleon and Wellness plushies at some point, but I don't know if I'll ever actually be able to. Especially now with the way things are going right now. Because I remember when I bought the Hololive Tapestry from their Hololive EN second wave, and the extra shit I had to pay on that basically cost me as much as the as what I bought. It was kind of ridiculous. I was like, holy shit, I don't know if I want to ever do this again. I use like 800 meat, not much, but it's been literally I think I've done past couple times in terms of days. Yeah, I just because I think I'm gonna probably just stick to 95, depending on how many turns I can get 95 down to. And then because I just want the tickets. And then, if we get a celestial weapon or two along the way for the drops would be acceptable. I wouldn't shed a tear about it. So I think I should have enough meat for that. I don't really think I put too big of a dent into my meat farming or my meat stack unless I do like the higher level ones. I think 100 still uses like the regular meat, the regular bait, right? Like you don't use the special one to like the 150s? 150, 200, something like that? I don't remember. I'm just, bro, like my brain is so dead. Doesn't even want to think of anything. Oh, oops. Wrong button. Until 250. Oh, shows you how often I do it. I've never like farmed anything higher than like 100 enough to remember. It's 10 for 95, then 20 for 100 to 200. Oh, and then use the. Okay. Yeah, usually I don't go higher than 100 for farming. Like, I'll do it like once, and by then I'll have plenty of the special meat. But it's not really a big deal. Like, what? The unholy bastard made a daily battle pass mission for killing enemies with Overwatch units. I don't have very many of those that are very high level to be doing any of this shenanigans with. Some shit. Um, I will say I'm being so like lackadaisical of it that I don't know if I'll get the stage one today. I'll probably just go until we get stage one at minimum. That'll be just the goal for today. So I'll probably just go for the 3 hours. I mm, I want to say I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow, but I should because if I don't stream tomorrow, then I'm just not gonna do Gold Wars, and that's not good. I need to be actively participating in our losses. Tier B. I'm pretty sure we're in Tier B. I didn't actually pay attention. I kind of skipped the screen and I forgot to go back and look. But I don't think any of my crew members are try-harding. Only one person has their skin on. I don't think I could check. What is our scores looking like? Yeah, because we're like 14 mil off here. And I honestly, I don't even know if my crew's like actually playing, to be honest. Except for this one. Or like I think they're just barely doing anything. I forgot to fucking look. I think it tells you up here when it's not entered, right? Bro, you can tell how little I interact with the fucking menu. Yeah, I'm like pretty sure we're in tier B. I highly doubt we're in tier A. Because my team's not like very hardcore at all. That's the button I was looking for. Where is that button? Mine is blind. I'm blind. I'm just gonna say I'm blind. There it is. Okay, no wonder. Why are we in tier A? Wait, we're at 6,000. What? Who fucking try hard? Why are we so high up? What the fuck? Wait, who? Oh, did somebody come back? Oh, oh, I think somebody came back. I think somebody came back for the skin because the new skin's like really good. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh no, no. We're definitely getting our shit shoved in. I was like, I'm pretty sure we're tier B because I think the last couple we've been tier B, even just going into it. I think there was one time we like barely scraped in at tier A and then immediately demoted to tier B off of the first fight. It was just, oh no, no, we're higher ranked by a lot. Prowler, welcome in. Thank you for the red. How was stream? Hope y'all had fun. Sorry, I'm like so brain dead today, so I apologize if I'm not very on top of everything. But how was Repo? Hope you guys had a good time. Sorry, it's been these last 2 days have been draining a bit. I've been doing a lot of heavy lifting and I still have to do at least another day tomorrow. And then I think I have to get up early to go and do groceries on the day after. Oh wait, no, actually the day after is the appointment. So I'll get a day break in between. But yeah, it's left me sufficiently drained, and I've done the decision to juggle two gacha games at the same time while also having conversations because streaming. Well, welcome in. Good as always. Nice. Did you get all the monies? Were you rich? Were you rich? But also, Ghost Lady, Kanan, welcome in. The Twitch app crashed on mobile or PC? I've had a lot of like Twitch streams crashing on even on like on my browser. It'll do the thing where you have to like refresh the stream, like the red button that pops up. Wanted to be chilling tier B, bruh, for real. Born to be in tier B, forced to sweat in A. Actually, born to be in tier C, but you tier B is where we'll be. That means I have to actually like participate a little bit. Because there's been a couple times that we've been in tier A that we've lost, that we wouldn't have lost if I had just like grinded a bit more. Potentially, right? Like there's because we would barely lose. We would lose within a point difference that I'm like, fuck, I should have just kept grinding. But it's also a case of like maybe the other team is like that too, right? Where they hit that point, they're like, all right, leave it. Like we're good. So it probably would have just caused them more back and forth, but I don't want, I don't be I just want to salute. Oh, mobile crash. I don't use Twitch mobile often. I mean, like, well, I say this, but there's a caveat to that. I don't use it often to watch other people stream. I use it to like watch my own stream to make sure everything's working properly, or at least try to. Sometimes I don't realize if it's like a very intense game when things are messing up. But so I don't usually have crashes, but I think Zalaric, you've had it. There's been a couple times you've had it where it crashes like every once in a while now. Crash sometimes, yeah. So has Reaper like do they add anything extra to the game post release, or is it just kind of just mods to spice it up? Or do you? I don't know if I've ever asked if you guys use mods. I've seen a lot of people that now they use a bunch of mods. Oh crap! I wasn't paying attention. Even what is it? Well, it's kind of interesting because even for as popular as like Repo got, I still see a lot of people that do Lethal Company. I don't know if it's a case of they do it because they don't want to get like Repo, or if it's just a case of like there's an actual distinctive difference. Because to me, they kind of look more or less the same, aside from like the minor differences of the Repo people you can go big and small, right? You can do like a little slinky thing. But it's just interesting to me because a lot of times whenever you have games that kind of clash in like the markets, so to speak, uh, usually one tends to suffer. But it seems so far at least that it's not too big of a thing. They have figured out how to coexist. Because like for instance, I think like Among Us is another one, right? Because there's been a lot of like different ones that have popped out that are kind of in a similar vein. right? Where you have people that are trying to sabotage and that kind of jazz. And it's just people like, calling each other dirty liars while trying to get people kicked out of the thing. But I think Among Us is still probably like the more popular one. Probably helps because I think it's like free on the mobile version or something. I don't remember. I think like one of the versions is free or something. Grinding Blue Fantasy. We gotta get the skin. We gotta get the celestial weapons. Ooh, sorry, I'm like so tired. Also, ignore the fact that I'm grinding another gacha game on the other half of my monitor. You guys just can't see it. Yeah, they added really cool the new Guild Wars skin. There's two Guild Wars skins. I'm using one of them right now. This is like the stage 2 of it. They added a new one with this one. It looks pretty cool. I dig it. Come on, Chaos. It's time to clock in. Time to do work. Let's go. Chop chop. That skin's not gonna get itself. I'm still mad that Grant has the stupid bird. Why does Grant have the bird? Why can't they just give both skins the dog? Why do they have to try to be different and be like, we're gonna put a bird? Fuck that bird. Get that bird out of my face. To be fair, it's the bird's not bad. I'm just annoyed that it's not a dog. Can't grind them all? Do it. Yeah, you can. You just full auto Granblue, and then you do what I'm doing, right? Where you have Granblue doing its own thing with full auto, and then you play another gacha game on the side because I'm crazy. Have enough meats to grind it. Well, I mean, the first stage is only 100 mil. Some people get that just by grinding the meat because they're crazy. I think I got like close to 50,000 or 50 million honors yesterday grinding the meat for it. I feel like I don't know, kind of. I guess it depends on like when you can do it. But if you can set up a team for horde mode, then you can just set up horde mode, and then go off and do stuff, and then come back and just keep turning it on every once in a while. You can probably get it more than enough before Guild Wars finishes to get the skin. At least the first stage of it. The second and third stage is a different story. Pissy didn't get Sario. Head pats, head pats. Did you not have a spark saved up? I never leave home without a spark in my pocket. Nope. Sage. Sage. I don't know. For the last like the 2 years, I always have yeah, like two sparks saved up. That's not including tickets. That's not including all of the that's not including all the side story tickets I haven't gotten either. I think it'll be a while before let me farm him a cloak real quick. It'll be a minute before I think I won't have like a spark in my back pocket for the character I want. Cause I do the same thing. I like one spark is reserved for the Zodiac always. Cause ever since like I don't know, ever since I got like my first Zodiac forever ago, I just kind of decided to make it my mission in life to always have Zodiacs. So I always save a spark for the new Zodiac whenever it comes out. Especially this one, cause well all we're missing is the horse. The horse is the last one, which is supposed to be the next one. Which is also supposed to be fire, which is my preferred element. So I obviously have to save a spark for that, no matter how good or bad that character ends up being. And then I have another spark saved, and I'm hoping for like I kind of want to pull on Halloween. I'm hoping that like Sarasa gets like a Halloween version that's like pretty good for Eternal, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes if I'll use it on Halloween or use it on the holiday. Exta is going to be a yeah, I don't think they're gonna do like me and Zelyric were talking about it. We feel like the most likely aspect is it's probably gonna be a case of what they might do is they might do like one round of all female zodiacs, and then like after they finish with the horse, who's the last one, They might do like another round of maybe like opposite, whatever they want to call them, like opposite faction or something of like dude characters. But then again, they made what is it? The ghost one, the ghost of the dog, like a grand character. So who knows what they're planning on doing for the Zodiacs, honestly. 'Zodiac have masters, so maybe that. Maybe. MC actually took the position instead of deciding to go search for them. It could have been a dude. For some people, it would have been a dude. For some people, it wouldn't. It still wouldn't have been a dude. Have they ever released the statistics of how many people like choose Gran over Vegeta for their character? Because, like, for instance, in my crew, when I first joined, my crew, which at the time had been full, I think we're still full, or we're close to full, had literally been, I think, five of us had been Jitas when I joined, and or five of us had been Grans, and everybody else was Jita. And then eventually, two of the Grans betrayed us and joined the Jita side. And then now, when I last looked, like like we're split down the middle, half and half. Flip flop back and forth. Oh, you're a flip flopper. To be fair, there are some skins nowadays where they look better on Grand than they do on Jita. Like for instance, I think like Viking is one of the ones I don't like the way Jita looks on it. But for Grand, I'm like, that's pretty sick. But Jita looks with a lot of really good like versions of the skins. Crew, it's a crew. Time to recruit. Get in them crew recruitment Reddits and Discords, chaos. Be like, we're looking for top tier gamers every day. If you don't have a fully transcended Celeste Magna Summon, we're kicking you. Crew, it's a dead crew. It's time for a mutiny. Take over. Like I'm in charge here. Maybe crew buff. I mean, to be fair, the crew buffs are good enough. But yeah, I don't know. My crew's like basically dead. Well, they have a Discord. I haven't been in that Discord in forever. It's still like fairly active, and they do a lot of other stuff. And but like they still play the game a decent amount, so I don't have to worry about farming for stuff for the crew materials. So that's nice. Thumbs up. But yeah, it'd be pain. I know some people that are one man crews, and they're like, yeah, it's a lot of work, and I'm like, why? Grind your own crew materials? No, that's too much work. It's time to go. Is there a reason? Like you haven't tried finding a new one, or is it just like lazy? Too lazy? Yeah, I figured that was the case. Honestly, I'd probably be the same. The crew I'm in now is one from there was someone I used to know who used to play Granblue a lot, and he's like, "Hey, I'm in a crew. You want to join?" I was in a crew at the time already, but it was just a random one. I was like, "Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm down. I'm in it. I'll join." And that's how I got into this crew. And then somehow now I've been in it so long that they have given me positions of power, which they probably shouldn't have because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Just grind until 200 mil and you're done. I think on average I get like four to five, no, 4 to 6, depending on like when it falls on the week. So like for instance, if it starts on like on a Friday or a Saturday, I usually don't stream one of the days. So then I like skip a day and I'm just lazy and I just get like the bare minimum honors to get all the Valor badges. But then if it's like this one where it started on Sunday and it goes through the whole week for streaming, I would probably walk out with like 5 to 6. Because I'll put in like a solid 3 hours into it. It's even more useful now because I can full auto this and then I can just grind Tacticus on the side. So that way I don't completely lose my sanity. The worst part about Guild Wars is like losing your sanity, honestly. Oh, you're right. I'm supposed to swap that to Harkin. Oopsies. 500 mil if it's a grid you're confident in. How many of your Magna 3 grids have you been able to get done? I feel like if you have like a decent Magna 3 grid, you can
Give me that butt!
get all of them. Draken, no, please. Not the Butte. I need it for my skin. I need to look good in the skin. What's up, Draken? How's the grind going? What a Magna? The only Magna you have is Light and Fire? Alright, buddy. Alright, buddy. Some of us over here just gotta do what we gotta do with what we got. SMH. Doing well at 500 mil. Sorry, I got hit with a big old yawn there. Are you gonna... I'm assuming you're gonna try to get a stage 2 with this Guild Wars for the new skin? That too! This bum! This is, you know... I blinked twice. They released like a new character, a new Fire Grand character with like a good weapon for like Primal, and the lyrics like, "What if I take that so you can't have it?" And it's like, I'm about to beat you with a stick. One of each Percy and Michael drop so you can fire Primal Grid. Imagine not having 2 Lords of Flames and 2 Crimson Scales. Could not be me. Technically, if I get like one more Zeta Sphere and like a Yule sword, I could probably go Primal. Granted, I don't have the Agni fully transcended, but that should be fine. Try for 3 bill. Dark is your main element. Oh, juicing. I don't know how you do it, Dragon, to be honest. Because I hit like 500 and I can just feel my soul dying. Like 500 million. I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. Which is kind of ironic to say because I remember the first time I did like 40 boxing like a long time ago. I think it was like in my first year, no, second year of playing Grand Blue. I remember it was Fire favored Guild Wars. I had all the really good Fire Guild War characters, and I had my grid basically as upgraded as it could be for Magna. And I was like, all right, this is gonna be the one. I'm gonna 40 box this, and I 40 boxed it. And I did not want to. I just thinking about Guild Wars made me gag. I was so burnt out. And then now, I like to be honest, because this was back before we had full auto. With full auto, it's not so bad. But like now, I'm like, yeah, no, I get like 4 to 500. No, that's fine. I like 40 bucks. Moments light fire grid favor. No, I give up. That's when you gotta persevere the most. That's when you gotta go the distance. I don't know. I just Magna Grid everything because I'm lazy. Because technically, I could just spark the. I could just grab the Zeta Spear and the Yule Sword that I need if I wanted to like really hard force it, but I just can't be bothered. Stomach 2 billion, depending on how cancer the fight is. Yeah, I don't gotta worry about that. I just sit here sitting pretty at like my level 95s to 100s so I can get my all my boxes and then I just sip my tea and go home. Actually, I don't sip tea. I don't like tea. Running up that hill, running up that hill. Just checked your last Guild War totals. Got 4 bills. So it should be, oh, wait. So I'm assuming you've got some secret sauce lined up for the 250s, or at least potential ones, until we find out like what atrociously insane mechanics they decide to slap us in the face with. I always find it relatively impressive when the guys that just cook up the like just out of nowhere setups for Guild Wars, and you're just like, how did you even come up with that? I sit over here, I just slow clap. I'm like, legends built different. Have your respect, built too different, yeah. Like those guys that cook, because I think it was last Guild Wars, right? That had there was like a secret sauce build that people were doing that I think crews waited like a day or two before putting it out. And even then, I think it's because someone decided to just make a video on it and let it slip. I'm just like, dang, y'all are good. I'm too dumb to figure out how to use. Like we just talked about, I'm too dumb to figure out how to use like Ray and Nahan. Like I ain't cooking nothing. Wingrid still missing a singular Kaguya dagger. Do I have Kaguya? I still can't get over the fact that they just randomly released a playable Kaguya in Wind. What? What? Who takes a water summon and then goes, we're gonna make it playable in a different element. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. It's like, are you shitting me? I guess it's probably the same person that went, instead of giving people the playable Odin they've been asking for years for, we'll just fucking put Grimnir on the horse and then make him suck because he's gonna be in dark. Thumbs up. That's probably the same person. Honestly, probably the same person. Okay, yeah, easy. Yeah, but Lich's first release was dark, which is what the Lich summon is in. Her other elements are seasonal characters, which have always been, well, not always, but they're generally different elements. But her main thing is dark. Kaguya has only one playable version, and it's wind, and her summon is water. Like it boggles my mind. Like it makes no sense. And there's no way you can tell me they didn't have fucking wind summons. They could have just taken. You know what? They could have made a playable Owlcat if they weren't so afraid to make like non-humanoid playable characters, and I guarantee people would have lost their damn minds about it. Because I remember when Eliar like first came out, like people were over the moon over a cat. And then when her grand version came out and it was a flying cat, I remember everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, she's great." playable Agni and Water. I think if they make the primal summons playable and they're not like their first version isn't in their own element, I think people might actually riot. I think people might actually riot. That's because that's egregious. You're like ridiculous at that point. I don't know. I'm very much I'm part of the group of people where I'm kind of tired of them releasing like new characters just out of nowhere and instead just like, not making playable summons or making upgrades for characters that we've had for a long time that are still just low ranked and stuff like that. Looking at you, Icarus, you should have been Ryan. Can't change my mind. But no, no, we had to make Icarus. We got to give him a sword. Because why the fuck not? Who even is he? His uniform even looks like it should have just been Ryan. And they just changed their mind last minute. Like, fuck off. Like, get out of my face. This Earthbound Gothic Katana, that's fun. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It feels weird. Because they had a pretty good like rhythm going, right? Where they would be like new character, upgrade old character, character that was in the story, right? Like they had a pretty good tempo. And then out of nowhere, they kind of just were just like, "Well, we're just gonna do random shit." I remember when Poseidon's Grand version got released, and at the time, at least like for most people I knew, I think like he pops up in the story at the time. But like most people I knew weren't really caught up with the story, so most of us were just like, "Where the fuck did this come from?" But I think like there's a handful of characters that just don't appear in the story, or they appear like after they're released. Because like for instance, what is it? That one dark girl with the dagger, the fancy one, or the one that's like fashiony. I was thinking she released before she showed up in the event. If I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. I don't think she showed up in the story. Stop the collab gotcha. I don't really mind the collab gotcha. I do mind when it's to the way Hunter x Hunter is. The Hunter x Hunter collab characters were a little egregious in my opinion. Kurapika should not have been as strong as he was, and Karilla should have had like a replacement like in the game as soon as like basically ASAP, like a month or two after the collab gotcha went live. In my opinion. Well, not live because they would have gotten issues, but like within like the next like month or so, there should be someone else who can do what he does for the tactical swap. Though the problem is it's probably gonna be like tactical swap that only affects the same element as the character, unlike Corolla's. Because the issue is that like if I'm mistaken, Japan has very stringent like gotcha laws where companies have to be extremely careful if they release a character. People pull for the character, spend money to pull for the character, and then they adjust the character. Quotations are adjust. Because back in the day, gotcha games were very notorious for companies would release a strong character, and to not allow for power creep, they would just nerf the shit out of that character when the new like hotness would come out, and thus forcing people who wanted to stay like with the meta to continuously have to pull characters. Because instead of it just being like, oh, it's this character is stronger, but you can still use the other character. No, they'd nerf it so that other character was like pretty bad. And a lot of like the Asian company or Asian countries were just like, all right, all right, all right, this is some shit, and put laws about it. So I don't think they can go back and revert and like go to Corolla and be like, all right, he can now only affect dark characters. Or they probably could. There's probably like some like shenanigans they'd have to like figure out. Yeah, I don't know. They had a pretty decent start to the collab characters, in my opinion, because they weren't that bad. But then the power spike on them got way too high, like way too quickly. See the shit up, yeah, because it broke some other laws. We're only down like 800. 6,000 might be enough for the entirety of Guild Wars. Sometimes did I tell you I'm no good at being alone? I think it should still be 130 with that. But yeah, it's yeah. They definitely caught a lot of flack with the last batch, and honestly, rightfully so, in my opinion. Anytime you're actively in here typing, when the warning comes up, they catch you. They're getting on to you now. That's what it is. They're like, Twitch is like, yes, yes, make his brain work. Make him bring up an actual topic so that way Zillyric can't hide and we can take Zillyric's pennies for ourselves. But yeah, I honestly would say that. Oh man, the backlash is gonna be fucking horrendous. The worst part is if Carullo shows up, and there's Carullo setups that are disgusting, right? Which they will be if they show up. That's gonna cause an immense amount of backlash, and then it's gonna double down for every Guild Wars he shows up in. And then it's going to be even worse if, for instance, say Fire Guild Wars rolls around and it ends up that most of the meta teams are just Carullo and Kurapika just running around doing shenanigans. Like, the amount of shit show that's gonna be when that happens, like, if that happens, as someone who's not competitive, because I'm just like, there's no way I can compete with anybody in this in this game to have enough of an opinion like that. It's just like they were just asking for trouble with the way they did the Hunter x Hunter one. That's why I was wondering, I think it was yesterday I was talking about, where I like wonder how much internal testing they do on a kit before they release it. Like aside from testing to make sure that the kit works and it's not buggy, like I don't feel like they do too much in like trying to like see in the actual situations how good a character is. Because if they did something like the Hunter x Hunter collab gotcha characters wouldn't really be an issue. To be fair though, we did get Kahlua, who's actually pretty good. Uh uh but still like not even close to the power level of at the very least Kurapika. Corello is kind of just a very niche character who's only probably really good in Guild Wars and certain like burst setups. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they had like a decent balance with the Nejima collab because Jack is like strong, but you can still replace Jack. He's not like the end all be all. So I'm enjoying a guild to compete. The high guild immediately got steamrolled. I sleep for whole hours. Yeah, it gets pretty up there. I mean, like you can still be competitive in your own little uh like in your element. Technically, that's what I do. Like realistically speaking, like I'll usually figure out like gauge where my skill is at, and then I'll be competitive within that like wheelhouse. And then as I get higher, I get progressively more competitive. Actually, show for like Guild Wars, even if you somehow manage to dodge using every other one. Check it out. Yeah, yeah. Like the only way Corolla like doesn't cause a problem, I feel, is if they release another character. They'll either release another character or they'll start releasing like characters in the elements, like specifically that can only swap characters like of their element. Which some people still won't be happy about it because it'll just be the case that if you have Corolla, then you just don't care unless because like the real way they could work around it is they're like, all right, we're gonna make a line of characters and we'll put one in basically every element and make them slightly different from each other, but they're gonna be able to like swap people's positions and they'll have like something else useful in their kit. Because realistically, Corello, it's basically that and then like his oh shit Percy button, which is a pretty good button to have, to be honest. It's a pretty good button to have. So I don't know what they'll do for the other kits. I don't know if that's just gonna be like the like a stamp template that they do for all the other elements. And then it'll just be a case that if you have Corolla, well then you don't really have to worry about getting them if you don't want them. The problem's gonna lie is that if they do that and they make them seasonal, it's not gonna resolve the backlash. If anything, it might actually make the backlash worse. Because at the moment, the two biggest complaints I've seen, and that's from both sides, both like art from like the English side and the JP side, is a lot of people really don't like how little grand and standard characters have been coming out that have been able to compete with the seasonal versions. Because there's always been seasonal outliers, but like the amount of power scaling that the seasonal characters are having now compared to just what you can get for a standard team is pretty rough. And if something like Guild Wars didn't exist, it wouldn't really be a big issue. But something like Guild Wars exists, where you have like actual points that actually quote unquote matter, right? In the context of the game. Because people like to see funny number go up. But yeah, like I don't think it's not gonna stop me from playing the game because I'm not at a point like the only way it'll stop me from playing a game is if they ever make it the character power to such a degree that I just cannot do Magna raids, even if I have like a full like grid like built, then that's when I start getting a little that's when I'm just like, all right, that's a bit much. I don't think it'll get that bad, but it kind of could because I'd say what is it? I'd have to look at the tier list. But I think aside from like Dirt Olivia, I don't like there's Dirt Olivia, Regazzo mostly because he enables bringing in Frau really easily. Uh what other standard characters are there that are good? Uh like good in the context of like high power scaling that they can compete with like in some cases. Anne is still pretty solid for water. Arulu Maya's not bad. But a lot of these are like older characters, right? Like Ragazzo's been here a while. Anne's been here a while. Arulu Maya, I think is Arulu Maya in Classic Draw or she's in the regular draw still? But I think like aside from like Dirt Olivia, I think for the most part, like the standard characters have like have been released recently, which honestly haven't been very many. I think we just got the newest one now, which I don't think she's rated very highly compared considering the fact that I have to scroll down. Yeah, they have her at like a 9.5. So she probably has like niches that she's really good in. Really Maya's in Classic one, so although yeah. I kind of figured because I'm just looking at her like not uncapped art and I'm just seeing how plain it looks compared to everything else like that surrounds her and I'm like, yeah, she's definitely in one of the classic draws. But I didn't want to say that because the last time I thought a character was in the classic draw, they weren't. But yeah, because before we had like really solid characters that even if they weren't like super meta, they were like good in their own elements. Like Sho was really good in Wind when he came out. Like there was a lot of burst comps that used him. Uh, Enya was really good because of her Dispel and Wind debuff. Anne was good before the uncap, even like hell lot better after the uncap. Like the regular Fire Zeta wasn't too bad, but then she got really good with the full limit break. Athena was a really solid choice in Fire. Anderson was a really solid choice in Fire back then. Yeah, I'm just looking at Goblin Mage is I am so glad they rated her higher. Goblin Mage is like one of those. She's not like as strong as like Dirt Olivia, but Goblin Mage is one of those like regular characters in light of all things that like in all honesty, if you have her, she is solid. She is solid. But yeah. So you combine the fact that a lot of the characters are that are really strong are seasonal locked with the fact that now Hunter x Hunter collab could be setting a new standard for collab characters. Because to be honest, when we saw how strong Jack was, we all thought that's kind of what was going to be the new standard, right? We were going to get like something around Jack's level, which Jack's good. Jack's a really solid character, but he's not like insane. And then we got Hunter x Hunter where they're like, well, we're going to give one of them a gimmick that has literally no repercussions aside from the fact that he's in the team, and even then you can still fix that with a Kieran because Kieran exists. So you can just tactical swap MC and then tactical swap Chrollo out if you wanted. And then or you can do I think what most people do, right? Where they use the next person buff on one person, then they Kieran and then they swap MC with a person and they buff that like MC again. Or like they buff MC, so now there's two people with the buff next person thing. Like oh, the dreaded got captcha. The dreaded gotcha captcha. I didn't actually think I would get caught by this today because I haven't really been playing Granblue at all today. But but yeah. For me it's just a case of like I can still play the game decently enough. Like for instance, I could clear like the Revan fights. I think Mugen's probably well, Siegfried also, but Siegfried has like Wind Vate who I just need to like actually get to come home on one of my pulls and then I can do him. But like there's options. I think Mugen's like the only one that's like kind of spicy if I try to do it. And even then I think probably not really. I think I have most of the Diaspora katanas I need now. But I don't know, usually I'm someone who's like who stays around mid level, right? I'll have like usually the Magna Grid set up and then I'll farm whatever free resources they give us to like uncap the other weapons. Speaking of, I need to start doing uh Six Dragon and all the other raids to get the sands. I skipped the last one because I was too tired. Missed the opportunity. Yep. Yep. Not today, Satan. Not today. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes, I guess. At the end of the day, I don't think I'll stop playing Granblue until, either the game shuts down or I cease to exist. Or like something happens IRL that causes me to not be able to play the game for a long period of time, which I doubt because it's like a browser-based game, right? But yeah, I can definitely say that it's currently, I mean, like, well, because it's kind of like a mixed bag, right? Because at the same time, they just expanded the story. They have planned for more stories, and then we have like what, 6 raids coming out, like planned. Like making raids takes a lot, and that's not including like the Verussia one. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I don't fucking know. Red Lady. It's like we're getting a lot of content with it. That's not just CDs, right? With the music, which to be fair, that's also like that takes money to hire people and stuff. So obviously they're putting the money to use. So it's kind of like it's a it's kind of like a double-sided coin thing. We'll just have to see if they can keep it up. I feel like if they can keep like giving us raids and stuff, then then it should be fine. I think it'll even out in the end because it'll at least prove that they're using the money for content. Call her mom since she's MC's mom? No, I refuse. She ain't my mama. I ain't never seen her before in my life. Ugh, now that you mention that, fucking, I can already see all the like the mommy memes that come out when her raid drops. Not looking forward to that because there was a lot of them when she was in verses. My real question is she gonna get like a summon or be playable or something? You know, wink wonk, side games. Because I really wanted that one giraffe lady from a couple events ago to be playable, but she had to be evil. Lord forbid they release some of the design I like that isn't fucking evil. Become a meteor, commonplace. When does a man become a monster? When does a ripple become a featherweight? When become a flame, become a monster. For the first meme edit of a trigger screen with her holding a chancla. That'd be funny. I'd find that amusing. As a Hispanic, I approve of this. Yeah, there's gonna be like two sides, right? You're gonna have like the ones where they're gonna have her like holding a chancla, beating the shit out of us out of with a big like summon thing, and then you're gonna have the other ones, the other people, those people. You know the ones I'm talking about. Them. Shakes head. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's been a while since they released like a new character in Grand Blue that I've been like, oh shit, I really like that design. It's kind of just been seasonal characters of characters I already like. Who was the last like new character, like a new playable character? There's been story characters like in events and stuff that I'm like, please. Again, what is it? Donna, I think was the name. When is she getting at it? God damn. But then half the times, like the characters are like are evil villains, and apparently we can't have them as playable because why the fuck would we do that? Oh no, we would never do such a thing. I'm trying to recall. I can't really recall the last like. I think it was like I honestly think it was Anderson. I think Anderson was the last new character they added playable, who just new that I was like that's pretty sick. I really like that design. Oh no, that's a lie. Sabrina. How could I forget the queen? Shame on me. I'm embarrassed. Gotta get playable Bilal or Bubs stuff in that door. The only way I feel like Bubs would be like a playable version of Bubs where I'd be like, yeah, that's sick, would be if they put him in his battle armor that they did the skin for in Versus. I saw that skin for his like battle armor, and I was like, that is sick. I was like, I want that. That shit looks cool. How close are we to the skin? Eh, eh. Salute! Let's go! We can, sir, yes, sir. All right, cool. Then we don't have to do a full 3 hours. It's time. It's time. Get this blade wielding scrub out of my face. I love that Unite and Fight has its own category. I would hate to have to like look through the other ones for it. Oh, oh. We have reached peak efficiency. Cheers. Look at that dapper young man. We gotta at least watch it. Like I've seen it. I don't care, but we're gonna at least watch it once. You know. Oh, it's so good. All right, now we begin the start of the grind for the next one. Stage 2 is where it's at. That's when you get the first eye patch. I have to look at the stupid bird, but you know what? Eye patch. Worth. Playable Bub does bring up the question of if he'd lock out the summon Bubs, since the flavor text on the summon is there's only room for one Bubs. I could see that. That'd be so funny. Honestly, that would be hilarious if he's like the first character where you couldn't have like the character and the summon in the same team. And then you double down, right? And you make Bubs like non-elemental, so he could just mimic the MC stuff. So that way it's not even a case of, oh, there's only one element where sometimes you may not use Bubs. It's like every element might not be able to use the Bubs summon. Get ready, bucko. Oh, that'd be so funny. I honestly would, I'd crack up. I would be cackling. That's so diabolical. I love it. I need this to be a thing. I need this to be a thing just so it'll piss me off in the future. So I can be like, I asked for this, but I didn't know what I really was asking for. I just wanted other people's life to be hard. That's such a funny idea, though. Also, something tells me that if they do add something that's a pain in this boss, it's gonna be attached to that little like infinity symbol thing. It's actually kind of funny because speaking of like kind of questionable decisions being made by companies, so Space Marine 2, right? Part of their monetization thingy is they've released like packs for cosmetics for chapters for uh so like for instance like Space Wolves, Salamanders, Blood Angels, etc., etc. And for some for some weird reason, I don't know who decided this. I don't know who like green lighted it. They decided that they were going to take the Salamanders pack and make it so that you could only use the cosmetics. So it's like because they have like two different pack types. There's one that's like I think it's like a chapter pack that just gives you a bunch of stuff that you can use on anything. And then there's like the specialty ones where they're like specifically for a specific role and they have like more shit and giggles on their cosmetics. But basically, they decided they were going to make the Salamander one be used only on the Recon. Because when I bought Space Marines 2, I was like, wait, I remember there being a Salamander pack. Maybe I'll get that. And then I looked, and then I was like, oh. Yeah, so they decided that they're going to take the chapter that's known for flamethrowers, melta weapons, thunder hammers. Like, basically, the guys that are known for being in like, their enemy's face and setting them on fire, or just disintegrating them with, like, plasma and shit, or crushing their skulls with, like, hammers. And then was like, yeah, no, we'll just let you use that on the sniper class. And like, I would look at the reviews, and the reviews are just like, who the fuck thought this was a good idea? Like, how did this make it like in the game? Like, it's such an oversight, honestly. And you may not think it's much in the grand scheme of like what's a game, but for as rabid of a fan base as Warhammer fans are, it's a pretty big deal when you kind of screw up their chapter like that and put it in a role where it just doesn't make any sense. There's a condition for the stacking, but yeah, I saw where it's like, what is it? Certain amount of damage or whatever makes the stack go down, or when you Yogi, some shit. I read it like yesterday when I was kind of messing around with setups, because I was like, oh wait, what does that do? Honestly, I couldn't tell you exactly what it did, but I remember it has like its stack goes up, stack goes down. I was like, ah, yes, will not be my problem for a while. Yeah, I'm curious. Well, I mean, I imagine that maybe they you. Why did you survive? And you survived with a lot of HP, huh? I'm confused. Oh, did I? Okay. Okay, there it is. I see it. That explains a lot. I was like, yeah, I autopiloted and just clicked here. My brain's like so fried. Usually I would have caught that. Didn't even think about it. I was, bro, the look on my face, I wasn't even like, it wasn't like the surprise. I was insulted when I saw how much HP was left. I was like, you fucking what? Excuse you? In front of my cup of water? Well, I do declare. I so flabbergasted made me do shit in the wrong order in the other game. Honestly, I would have rather been doing my Limbus company Mirror Dungeon instead, because that takes like an hour and a half to 2 hours to do for me. But I can't. Too much thinking. That's way too much thinking. Tactic is takes some thinking, but not that much thinking. In comparison. I won't lie, part of me doesn't like how I've stumbled on too many gotcha games at the same time that I enjoy playing at the moment. I was very content when I had like just Granblue, and then every once in a while I'd play like Zenless. Well, I was also like kind of bored because I just wouldn't have anything to do for the rest of the day. Which, to be fair, I should have been using to be productive with life, but you know, if I was being productive with life, we wouldn't be here right now. So, shrug shoulders. Debatable. Arius, thank you for the follow. Hopefully, I didn't butcher your name. I do apologize if I did. I am kind of sleepy, but I hope your day is going well. Yeah, my brain's starting to shut down. We'll probably go for like another, maybe like 10 minutes. Maybe get to like the 45, and then call it. Like, I feel like my brain shutting down. Like, that Hades one was, that Hades grab was just, it's a sign. It's a sign I need to tap out. No real main pronunciation. No. Fair, fair. Well, how's it going? How's your, I'm assuming you're grinding Guild Wars? Have you gotten the salute? Are you going for it? Oh, Helldivers and Guild Wars. That's next level. That's next level. I'm over here grinding Guild Wars and another like turn-based gacha game. I don't know if I can do Helldivers and Guild Wars at the same time. That's commitment. Bit slow. Do you have part one? I can't say nothing. I literally just got the first stage like I don't know, barely even 10 minutes ago. Doesn't work that well. Yeah. I imagine it'll probably work a little better with the higher levels because you can let that run for a little bit, but it's gonna be kind of rough on the the current ones. Horde based. True. I really hope they expand Horde to other some of the other modes. At the very least, I don't know. I'll probably say it every day, every time it comes up until they do it or add something like equivalent. The Tales of Eternal needs a Horde mode. I'm so tired of having to sit there the entire event and do the one turn and back. It makes me want to cry. Be nice, yeah. Like there's a couple other modes that I would like it for, like Dread Barrage and in Sandbox, but like that one in specific, they really need to just put it in there. That mode breaks my brain too much. This is too much grinding. I usually do like the 3 laps and call it good. Maybe in 3 years. True. True. It's the amount they have left on it small enough that I can stomach the grinding enough and get it. And the second level, the new one. Meanwhile, I'm over here being like, I got the first stage, and I can probably get slightly more than half of the second stage. Call it good. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all do it. I was because I was like nowhere near the last stage. I don't think I was even close to the halfway point on the last stage for the other one. Oh, actually, no. I think I was like I might have been close to the halfway. I think I was at like 2.9 or something like that. Quotations around close. I'm honestly just really, really hoping that it's not what I think it's gonna be, and that like next year they're like, here's more Guild Wars skins, and I'm just in this like eternal hell of just never getting the third stage of any of the Guild Wars skins, because I'm just always getting the stage 1 and 2 of the new one. I highly doubt they'll pump out skins that fast, but you also never know because it is them. Well, it'll happen. Well, what'll happen is it'll be whenever they hit a point where I just don't really like care for the skin that much, or like I'll only care for like the level 3. So then I'll just be like, I'll get it later. But like just thinking about that, like that is my eternal suffering. Like in my mind, is just that, just them constantly releasing new Guild Wars skins before I can finish like any of the previous ones. Oh shit, why are you here? Because I just can't like. Well, I mean, I don't even. Well, to be fair, I don't know if they would release like if they do release another skin. Like, I don't know if it would be to the level where I would want it more than being able to call in the Grand Cipher on Ogi. Like, that's just wild to me. Would have been flat 2 billion to 2 guilders away from half your average numbers. Yeah, it sounds about right. At least I think it was 2.9. Probably know it could have been like 3.9. Doubtful. Now I'm curious. What was it at? Stupid bird. Why did we get to? I'm gonna say that every time I look at that skin. So no, yeah, 2.94. Yeah, I did see it right. Okay. I was like, there's no way it's like 3.9 because I know I was already had the second one, the last Guild Wars when the last Guild Wars started. Are we sitting at? No, we haven't broken 6K yet. Yeah, we should. This meet should last me for the rest of Guild Wars. Should be fine. Should be a-okay. Yeah, because with 95, we'll probably get bumped up to. I guess it would depend on if they introduce any like stupid mechanics at 95. They usually don't. They usually only start really putting them in at like 100 at the earliest on some of the fights. Because I think like for instance the bunny started getting its dodge at like 100, but it was so upfront with the debuffs that you could, or with the buffs that you could get rid of it really quickly. And then it was in the later stages that it was like horrendous because it was behind like 20 buffs. But oh, rip. I think my phone just died. Oh, awkward. I didn't pay attention to the battery level. Sure, like every trying to shut your mouth. Leave me alone. Something sounds in the corner. I don't want to be here, man. Why are we here? What bum decided to try hard in prelims and couldn't just wait till the actual like round started? I mean, to be fair, even if they waited, we probably would have just been upgraded to tier A anyway. So still would have gotten in there eventually, maybe. Maybe not. There's a pretty decent chance that we would have stayed in tier B and I could have like not felt bad. But no. No, some bozo. One of our whales had to come back. Cause last Dark Guild Wars we didn't get in tier A. I remember that for a fact. I think we were just shy of it, but we were like high tier B. Because like we have two dark whales that they didn't come back. Or they didn't play that Guild Wars. Or if they did, they didn't do a whole lot. But I'm pretty sure one of them came back for this one for the new skin. To be fair, he also might have come back for Sario and then led into Guild Wars with it. Because I knew there was a guy that in our crew who was a really big fan of Sario and like the story and the summon and stuff. Wild timing, the skin does make sense. Yeah, because it happened with the sword skin. When the Sword Master one came out, we were in tier A again because one of the whales had come back and for the Sword Master skin. And then we kind of like petered out because he got the all three stages pretty early on compared to the rest of us. And then so he wouldn't have had a reason to get on to try hard for points outside of like just getting the Valor badges. But then with this new skin and Sariel, I'm pretty sure it's the one I'm thinking of that came back to like in like a try hard capacity. When I get the whole skin, we see if we have the energy and time. Yeah, I don't know how people can do it. Like it's so weird because I can grind other things like 24/7, but like there's something about Guild Wars that's so mentally draining to me. I can't quite like put my finger on like what it is. Agree. Yeah. It's definitely not the repetition. Because I've played other turn-based gacha games where I've like sat there and grinded an event 24/7 on the same fight over and over again. Though to be fair, some of those I've been able you can like chain the stages together. So you don't have to like constantly be doing this click. So I don't know, maybe that's what's causing it. Oh, I'm also on the wrong tab. Okay, I'm glad that fight finished. That could have been kind of awkward if that fight wasn't done. Well, actually, it wouldn't have let me start a new one anyway. But yeah, I don't know what it is with Guild Wars. Actually I do know what it is. I know what it is. It's because Granblue Fantasy has so much grinding on everything else that like a lot of times when I hit Guild Wars, it's at a point where I just don't want to do anything. So I just like I'm already mentally drained from grinding crap. Most other gacha games I play, it's like there's like 3 events a year where I'd have to do something that grindy. And then Granblue's like, well, we can do this. There's also these other events for Sand. Also, there's Dread Barrage. Also, we're gonna do Tales of Eternal. It's like, can you not? Oh, we got Sandbox. And it's like, can we take a break for like 2 years? Can we calm down? All right, we'll do like two more and then call it for the night. We'll clock out our shift. I think almost getting 3 hours and I'm like half dead is commendable. There are no breaks, true. Granblue is the first time. I think it's probably the one where the meme's the most popular, where it's like, "What do you do when the grind's done? What do you mean? It's when we start the grind." There's no escape. If you play this game, there's no escape. You're just forever locked in that treadmill. Oh, don't remind me of fucking Rise of the Beast, because yeah, they did Rise of the Beast with the summons and the Zolaric, you suck. Why'd you have to remind me about that? Because I saw it on the timeline in my brain. I saw it on the timeline and I was looking for like the high level raids, like the new stuff, and my brain like blacked out like a little bit looking at that specific section. And then you had to remind me, brother. I can't. Set me free. 119. I think 119 mil is higher than I usually have by day two. So we might hit like 500 plus. Because I think usually I'm in like the 4 to 500, depending on what I'm doing. Yeah. I think we'll probably try to push to the 500,000 just to get the crystals. If we get close enough, like on like the last day or something, we'll probably push through to get the crystals. Summon uncaps? Yeah, but I have a very sneaking suspicion that some of these might actually be useful because in wind I don't have very many summons that are potent. Earth not so much. Earth I have like Mammoth, I have the new one. I have Uriel, I have a lot of ones. But for wind, I don't have a lot of like summons with good sub aura slots, and I do use her fairly often. So I might actually have to go for that. Yeah, like I just don't have. I mean, I guess I could put Temperance in for I think Temperance is the sleepy potato one for like the this one because we don't have any crest generation on this team. Oh yeah, we do. Never mind, it's Mana Diver. That's why that was there. I was like, wait, why is that there? It's because Mana Diver. Something that needs all of them unlocked, so I figured maybe I'll do that in case just in case. Yeah, I am slightly worried about that too. But at the same point, it's like part of me is slightly concerned about that, but part of me is also like, eh, it'll be fine. I don't know. I feel like I'll get around to doing it in the future. I just couldn't be bothered. I forgot what they didn't they do the same thing? Didn't they do a Guild Wars into a Rise of the Beast for the first like uncap or like in reverse or something? I remember there was a reason that I looked at that and I was like, I'm not touching that. I don't care. And I think it's because it was too close together on to, like something else that was like really, really grindy. I think it was the Guild Wars. I'm too lazy to go look at the scheduling personally. But yeah, that's we're gonna clock out. I am dying. But yeah, so that'll be it. We were able to get stage one. I think we might be able to get a decent way through stage two. We're obviously not gonna get all of stage two. I don't grind that much, but I could probably see we're at 100 mil. I'll get another 400 mil probably. So we'll get like probably just shy of like the halfway point ish, or we'll probably be like around the halfway point ish. So that means next Guild Wars we'll get stage two, which is perfectly acceptable for me. But yeah, so I'm gonna go play more gacha games because I have a problem, but it's okay. So thank you everybody for watching. Tomorrow might be another low energy stream day. Thank you for joining, following. I do appreciate the company. It does help with the sanity. But tomorrow might be another low energy day because what you call it? I have to move two stoves, so we'll see. Limbus Company, you say? Funny you say this, because that's what I'm gonna go grind after, because I need to, well, debatable. What time is it? Do I want to do a Mirror Dungeon run right now? I just recently got into Limbus Company. It's one of the, like, four gacha games I'm juggling right now, including Granblue. The Coleman Bros appeared there. You know you want to join. You know you want to join. Yeah, I do plan on probably like I have so like my current plan is usually I stream Granblue for Guild Wars because obviously it's like it's how I keep myself. If I don't stream Guild Wars, I like don't play Guild Wars past like the bare minimum. But my plan is I have Lords of the Fallen, and then I bought Space Marine 2 recently, so the shift is gonna be after Guild Wars is over. I might end up taking a break and not streaming on the day after, and then I don't usually stream on the weekends. But I'll do Lords of the Fallen on Monday through Thursdays because I stream Monday through Friday, usually around this time. And then Fridays I was gonna do like Gacha Fridays, and I was probably gonna do my Limbus Company Mirror Dungeon runs like for the week, like probably just save up my stamina if I have the patience for it, because I probably don't, because I need to get through the BP, because I just started recently. I think just now will be like a month since I started Limbus Company, so I have a lot of catching up to do. So yeah, so probably see some Limbus Company streams on Friday nights, where it's gonna be a lot of me being in pain, trying to figure out what I'm doing. Liking it. I'm enjoying the mirror dungeon. I like doing that. I'm stuck on Kanto 4, like 448. Because a lot of my team, like, I don't have a lot of 000 IDs at the moment. I took what is it, Sinclair from the ticket they give you, the season 1 Sinclair, the one who grips. I have him. I got Yi Sang's horse in like 90 pulls, so I got lucky there. Uh, I just dispensed Merceau's new Gunblade ID, and then I have Sinclair's like pairing with that ID, his Soldato, which I have Uptide 3, but I don't have it like leveled up. But I'm hoping that once I get them all leveled up, I can get through 448 and then go back to working through the story, because it is rough only having Mirror Dungeon being my only event currency. I've gotten a decent amount of what I want out of the shop, but it still would be nice to be able to continue progressing through the story. Just like for other people, they're like, I want to progress through the story to get lunacy and get more content unlocked. I'm like, I just want more event currency that doesn't require me to have to sit there for like 2 hours or like an hour and a half to 2 hours. The more I figured out, the faster it goes through. It definitely went a lot faster now, like this last run, because I have Yisang's horse mode, so I just like grab his special item at the start and then just grab a bunch of tremor stuff and just let him go wild. And it usually just carries me through it. But yeah. It's been fun though. I like it. I do like it. It's just now it's the point of I don't know if I'm debating whether I'm gonna skip the Arknight egos, because Walpergeist apparently is gonna come right after. And I mean, I guess it would depend on how, if they tell us who's getting IDs for it. Because if Marcel's getting an ID, or Otis, or no, not Otis. Otis has one. But yeah, if Marcel gets like a Walpergeist ID, I might just try to like save my pulls for that instead. Because like Otis, Rodian, and Marcel are like my 3 favorite characters. So I kind of want to get like a bunch of their IDs. So far, Rodian is the only one out of the 3 that I don't have a usable ID on, because I only have her N core one. But yeah, we'll do. It'll probably be this Friday. I'm so dead. I'm so dying. But thank you everybody for watching. I do appreciate it. If it's early, if you have a good day. If it's late, if you have yourself. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.